Hello everyone, welcome back to these videos. My YouTube channel name is Nishnat Nandkeolyar 13289. So today now we are introduce the introduction of Microsoft Power BI. So in this session we will start from the introduction of Power BI and why we use this Power BI in this current scenario. So these all are the questions. So we will give the answers in this session. So from now, from these videos, we are going to start a new tool, that is Power BI. So before we start these videos, we need to understand the introduction of Power BI tools, where to are going to understand the base of tool and why this tool we used in the current organization, why all the companies and the big companies and big corporate sector use this Microsoft Power BI. These all are the questions, and we try to give the proper answer of this question. So in a simple way, the first question of Power BI. So Power BI is a business intelligence tool. This is a tool where we create data visualization, we create the report, we create the dashboard. So all these reports, dashboards, we work together in this tool, and the tool name is Microsoft Power BI Desktop. So Power BI Desktop is basically a software, a tool which we install from the Google and download in our local system, and this is free of cost, except we share the reports with others. So except the shares the reports with the others, we all use in the create the report and dashboards in Power BI Desktop. So first of all, we need to understand the first definition of Power BI. Power BI is a data visualization and business intelligence tool, and that is the provided by the Microsoft. The main functions of this tool is we convert the data, and we convert the raw data from the different sources and create various parts of reports and dashboards. In other way, we can also say this is a collection of software and services that we connect that turn the raw data into a meaningful insight for interactive insight of the raw data. The first point is what we need to source of the data to use Power BI. So we take the data from the different sources, and we collect the data into import in our the tool in Power BI and create the reports as per the data. So now we need to understand the business intelligence tool, because this is basically for work for business intelligence. So this is the power of Power BI for a create report and in the business intelligence process. So this is for analyze the big data. If you talk about the big data, their data and any other sources, we get the data, and their data is convert and in this tool and upload the data and create the report as per the requirement of user. So our goal is into the business intelligence to improve our decision making, and what we idea to improve the data in this from this tool. So business intelligence is only for use for analysis and making some decisions to take the data. So now the big point is why we use Power BI. There are lots of features in this Power BI for why we use. So it allows real-time dashboards updates. This means that when we create our report, when we create the report in the real-time basis, we convert the report into the dashboards, and this dashboards is update in the real time. So this is the first point for we use Power BI. It is secure and reliable connections and a data sources from to in the cloud. For in Power BI, we reliable connections to the data sources in the cloud, because the Power BI services when we use, so data is stored in the cloud. The cloud is what? The cloud is Power BI app, Power BI cloud. The Power BI Microsoft is on a cloud, so we can store the data in there in on cloud. It features for dashboard visualization, and from the Microsoft, Power BI regularly update within the community. In monthly basis, Power BI desktop is automatically update from the Microsoft, and we need to update our software in a monthly wise. And this is a software as a solutions and the dashboards. So when we create our the report, so we can build a dashboard and reports. So that is the main then that is the main point for we use in the Power BI. So after why we use the Power BI, that the main question is the fundamental and the structure of Power BI. Actually, here we can mention some few features in Power BI, but that is not enough for the main features of Power BI. We can introduce some more extra functions in our upcoming videos. But in these videos, I mention one of them, a few fundamentals of a structure of Power BI, that is Power BI desktop, Power BI services, and Power mobile apps. These are the three fundamental basics of the Power BI. So first we talk about the Power BI desktop. So Power BI desktop is a software. It's a free application tool that in Power BI desktop we download in our system freely, and we import and upload from the raw of data into the Power BI desktop, and we create the data modeling, then create report and analyze the data and convert into the some few charts and dashboards. Then we share the reports with others people. So this desktop is a software which we can use for Windows and any other operating systems. So this is a free software. At least 90% you can task here in desktop is free, except publishing the your report with the other. So we have to purchase the license of Power BI. So we will update you also in the next session for licensing of the Power BI, which license is required for Power BI. That is some Power BI Pro license, premium license, what is the features, what is the functions in the license, and which license we used in the organization, and how we work on the licenses, and what is the cost, and what is the durability of the license. So all the features we will discuss with you in the next videos. So after Power BI desktop, we go into the Power BI services. So in the Power BI services, that is totally a online services, software as a services. Is Power BI services basically, you can say this is a cloud based services of Power BI Microsoft. When you have created the report and your report has done, and now the time is share the report publicly with your users, with your end of managers, whatever you share the report with the any other people, then you publish your report from the desktop, and the report is automatically uh, go to the cloud of Power BI. Then two things is very important in the Power BI services. First, you need to create your login ID. Login ID is not, you can create a login ID of Yahoo, Gmail, any other login ID. You need to create a Microsoft login ID, or you need to create your corporate ID, like if you are working in Capgemini, TCS. So this is a corporate your ID, and then you can you can put your corporate ID in the users and login session, and you take your password and click. Then you can work in the Power BI services. If you don't have any ID, then you come to the Google and take in the write in the Google for how to create a Gmail, how to create an ID for Power BI. Then you can choose a Microsoft.on.com is a software. Then you can create your mail ID, and then you can use your Power BI services. I can show you also here which mail ID I am using here in Power BI services. And third is Power BI mobile apps. In this mobile app, we can create the dashboard and reports with Power BI via mobile app. You can share with others through a mobile apps for your Android and for your Windows, any other mobile apps. Then you can share via reports. You can share the reports via mobile app. So you need to install the mobile app in your Android phone and Apple phone, and you can share with reports with others. Now we turn to the components of Power BI. The basic actually the basic four components in Power BI. These components are Power Query, Power View, Power BI Desktop, Power Pivot, and Power Map. So these are the components. So we talk about the first components of Power BI. These components are very important to get the knowledge, basic knowledge of Power BI, because if you have no idea and no knowledge about the components of Power BI, so you cannot do work in your organization. What is the basic purpose to work here, which work we need to first in Power BI tools? So that is all the necessary we need to understand in completely and detail wise what Power Query work, what Power View work. So Power Query is allows you to import the data from different sources. This Power Query is only used for clean the data, transform the data, and load the data. So this is basically a ETL tool. ETL tool means extract the data, transform the data, and load the data. If you have a raw data, then from different sources, it could be a doc.txt file, it could be a CSV file, it could be a Excel file, it could be a database like Oracle database, SQL database, MySQL database, or any other cloud, Azure, AWS. It could be a different the sources. I think it is 99 per data sources we use in Power BI. So in Power Query is a ETL tool that is inbuilt in Power BI. So in Power Query, when you click on the Power Query in the Power from the Power BI desktop, one another open page open in the Power Query editor. So in this windows you can use for clean your data, like if there's some any other null values, some other duplicates values, some other missing values, some other null values and other values, so you can check and clean and transform the data in a particular raw data into a shape of the uh, approval data, whatever you have to use as per your required from your organization. So you can check the data and then you import the data into the Power BI desktop. If your work is completed in the Power Query, then you close and apply, then your data is converted into the automatically Power BI desktop. That is a free desktop, as I said, as I told you in earlier. So first we work in Power Query. Now we turn in Power View. Power View is basically for when we upload or import the data into the Power BI desktop. So there is a tool of Power View. In Power View, we drag and drop the table. We drag and drop the columns into the Power View and we create the some charts, some donut charts, some any other reports in Power Queue. So that is only for the data visualization. So you create interactive charts and graphs and maps in this visual. So Power View is only for your data visualization. When you create your report, so you create the report in the Power View section with the help of charts and tools which is available in the Power BI. You just drag and drop the charts into the Power View and select the columns that you required. And the third point is Power Pivot. Power Pivot is basically if you import a data from a large data sets and from some other data sets, so it's very important to relationship between the data, because Power Pivot is only used for data modeling. If there is no relationship between the two tables, if we are table A and table B and there is no common one key in between the table A and table B, so how we can create a relationship between the data and how we can fetch the some insight meaningful from this two tables. So Power Pivot is very important role played in Power BI. So this is applicable for data modeling, for create complex and calculations and relationships. So data modeling is a very important part in Power BI. So Power View, Power Report, Power Pivot, it is this all are the basic components of Power BI. Power BI desktop is a free applications tools which we create reports into this Power BI desktop, except the shares to report. When we share the report, then we use our corporate ID and password, then sign in the password and with the user ID, our login ID, then Power BI services page will be open. So this page is basically for cloud page. So in Power BI, our report automatically go in the cloud and then we can share the page with other people. Fifth is Power Map. Power Map is used for 3D data visualization tools within the Power BI. If there are country's name, city's name, region name, so in Power BI desktop there is a features of Power Map. We can see the data in a 3D diagram, data visualization in a Power Map. So we can use this city wise data, region wise data, country wise data in a Power Map. So these all are the components which we read here into the Power BI. So now this is overall my the slides here of introduction of Power BI. Now if you would like to install the Power BI in your system, so this is the link of Power BI .microsoft /desktop. This is a free application tools. This is main inside. When you download your Power BI Microsoft, then the main page will be open here. Is look like that. So this is you just click here for the download. When you click here for the download, one new page will be open here. This is open from the open Microsoft Power BI, because we already installed the Microsoft Power BI. So this page will be open here. In this page, this is mentioned here, the Power BI desktop. So we can also here open and get, and when the Power BI desktop is not installed in our system, so here mention is get. So we can click on the get and Power BI install in your system, and you can work without any required login credentials. You can almost you can use your work in Power BI desktop. So see the or download options here. This is all options of the Microsoft Power BI desktop. This is the main page of Microsoft Power BI built for analyst. So when you click here on download options, so there is two options has given. First option is Power BI desktop setup.exe, and second option is setup.exe 487.3b. Actually this setup is the same. The difference is update the software of the latest version. So you just click here Power BI desktop setup into 64.exe 47 MB files and click here for download. After download, a new icon will show here. New icon will show here is a Power BI. This is not a Power BI. This is a Power BI report server. I will give you some knowledge about the Power BI report server also here. But now we talking about the Power BI desktop. So one icon will be shown here, Power BI desktop. Then you can work here. So that and then overall this our the video in the Power BI desktop. And now from the next up videos we give you the some other interactive knowledge and features in the Power BI. So this is my first videos for the introduction of Power BI. After this video I will create the chapter wise videos in the Power BI. Like we first to create the videos of Power Query, how we clean the data, how we check our null values, duplicate values in Power Query. We almost cover in Power Query. Then when Power Query chapter will be closed, then we import our data into Power BI desktop. We read all the topics step by step in this session. So we start from the Power Query, then we come to the Power BI desktop, and last my session will be Power BI services. So we will be cover here all the topics related to Power BI, how we get the data from different sources, how we work in Power Query, how we work in Power BI desktop, how we work in Power BI services, and what is the main features. So DAX function is also there. DAX is the big role played here in Power BI. So we will cover all these terms and conditions in Power BI. So guys, please watch my videos completely without skipping, because if you skip the videos you will not get the complete answer, you will not get the complete knowledge, because in this current organization you have to acquire the basic knowledge, at least basic knowledge of Power BI, because in our current scenario all big companies firms are using Power BI. Tableau is also used here, but if as you see the report of Gartner's, this is continuous increasing. The line chart on the Power BI desktop is increasing because the main point is cost effective. This is very cheap cost of Power BI as compare some other tools in the market. So all the companies, all the organizations are preferred to use Power BI desktop. So in our next videos we will get you some more knowledge in Power BI query. So guys, thank you for watch my videos. Have a nice day.